Everybody, you are watching TSRP. I'm going to be your host, Seth Rosczewski, tonight. Welcome to the show. Be sure to hit the like button, follow, subscribe, all that fun stuff. This is the 39th or so, 39th coffee hour. I'm going to be here for the hour with you guys, possibly longer if the questions and comments are good. And today we got a great show for you tonight. Lots to get into. Big show. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I am going to be responding to the live chat that I have pulled up right here on my phone. Let's see who we have in here. I got a lot to get into today. I did not do a show last weekend. I was out hunting ghosts and Bigfoot for a television show. So we can get into it. We can talk all about it. Audio is great. Fantastic. Thank you very much. One Takes Adventures. Let's get into it, and let's see who we have in the chat today. We got Steve Allen. Allen, good to see you. Drew Beeson, how are you? Sandy, how are you? C. Lynn, Andrea, King Charles, Parody, Copper Horse, Jersey Girl, Rich. Everybody's in here. Barnabas, One Takes Adventure, Abby. Good to see all of you. Were you guys in the premiere? I saw many of the similar faces today, or similar names here. In today's premiere. I hope you guys all enjoyed the episode on JFK. What do you guys think? Did Matt Crumpton prove that there was a conspiracy? We had a bit of a schedule that we had to keep to when we were filming with Matt, so I needed to make sure that we kept to a certain time. We got him out of the studio as quick as we could. Not as quick as we could, but at a proper time. He had another meeting that he had to attend, so I couldn't do the typical hour and 40, 2-hour interview that I really wanted to do with Matt, because there's so much to get into when it comes to JFK, and there's so many details to it. But yeah, I have to rewatch guests over. Yes, exactly. No, Matt was a great guest, a very smart guy. Yeah, he's an impressive guy, I will say. Lawyer, business owner, father. He's got a lot going on, and he took the time out of his day to appear on our show, so we are always very, very grateful. We got some adjustments to the studio lighting. It seems nice and bright in here today. We wall mounted the lights instead of using tripods, so hopefully everything seems to be lit properly, and it's not too overblown. Let me know what you guys think. But yeah, so this is a open Q&A. Ask me anything. I'm going to be sitting here drinking my coffee, and today we got something new for coffee, something fun. Caroline bought me the bottle of this. Now, I'm not sponsored by anybody. No one tells me what to do. I do what I want. No one sponsors my show. I'm not for sale. But this coffee caught Caroline's eye. This is the can version. She bought me the bag. I went back to the store and bought the cans because I thought the can was pretty cool. But she's like, oh, this is Seth. It is. It is. I'm sorry. Young men, people my age, 26 years old, in their 20s, have no sense of style, no sense of originality. Everyone wears the same stuff. They wear graphic T-shirts. They wear pants that don't fit. No one's got any sense of style. And I think looking cool is part of one's personal effect, the charm, right? And if I'm going to be on TV talking to you guys, I should be dressed up. It should look good for you guys. But all right, let's see. We're gonna crack the holy cannoli cold brew latte. The only thing I don't like about this is that it has 31 carbs, dude. It's got 28 grams of sugar. Insane. I don't typically drink these latte drinks like this. Usually I just drink black coffee, but I bought this and didn't realize how much like sugar was in it. But hey, we already paid for it. We paid the $3 for it, so we're gonna crack it open because it looks cool. Sounds good. Give it a little taste for you guys here. Yeah, Yep, that definitely has sugar in it. All right, let's see what you guys have to say. Let's dive into the chats. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you thought about today's video. Hello, all. Happy Sunday. Yes, it's a very nice Sunday. Very nice outside today. What up? It's your boy, King Charles. What's going on, King Charles? Good evening, everybody. Part 2, if you were here this morning. Exactly. I thought this was on Bigfoot. We can get into it. I was the producer. I work at a television station full time. That's my full time gig. And we shot a TV show. We shot the 2 first episodes of a show called Histories and Hauntings Season 2. And we're doing it on the Bridgewater Triangle. And within the Bridgewater Triangle, there is a Bigfoot sightings. Bigfoot, something that has been around inside the Bigfoot Triangle, ghosts, cryptids, everything. I just don't think there's like chupacabras in there. But we got a super chat in here. Thank you. Oh, wait, no, we got Jules. 1,000 Jules. I'm still working on the Jules thing. How do I use the Jules? Because I've tried to claim the Jules, but I'm not sure how to use them. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. 1,000 Jules. I appreciate it. We're going to give that a heart. Very nice. Appreciate it, DJ. But yeah, no, so we shot the Bigfoot one second. We shot episode 1 first, which was the history of King Philip. You got me all messed up here, King Charles parody. But no, King Philip was a king that fought the Native Americans, and they kidnapped his wife and daughter, and then they hid the separatists recaptured the wife and daughter, and they hid them inside a house that was built in the 1600s, and we went and shot the house. Not shot the house, but filmed at the house, right? We did that whole thing. We toured a cemetery that was actually moved. Anybody who lives on the Northeast knows that the Route 24 that goes towards Boston or south of Boston is new. It's a new route, new highway. Route 24 goes over a stretch of graves, which I didn't know. And they left the tombs, but they moved the headstones to this new cemetery. So Route 24 is paved over graves, which is crazy. I didn't know that. I didn't know that till we were on set or on location, and we're filming and we're doing the whole thing, right? We're getting that whole thing done. And yeah, they just started talking about it, and I had the headphones on listening to the audio, and I'm like, there's no way that they just paved over a cemetery. That's insane. But yeah, no, it's a dozen people that were paved over, or a dozen graves that were paved over. It's insane to me. Wild. At least as far as I know. But I haven't done extensive research on it. I'm just going off of what the experts told me. So yeah. It is nuts. It definitely is. So that's why Route 24 is so crazy. It is. Anybody who knows Route 24 knows that it sucks because it's nothing to look at. It's just all trees, and a lot of accidents happen on Route 24. Plus, they're always doing construction. So there's a lot of connecting rods and joints and stuff like that. Beams that you go over, and it's a really crazy road, and wicked bumpy. But all right, I thought the JFK segment was great. I just took a look at one of his videos. He has so many, and it's so intelligent. He has a lot of guests who do their research. Exactly, yeah. Matt did a great job on that show, and in preparation for the episode that we filmed, I watched all of season 1 of his podcast. So if you go back on Solving JFK's YouTube channel and you go to playlists, there'll be podcasts, or maybe season 1, season 2, whatever it was. I just started from the top. I just started with the podcast, and I just worked my way through it. But no, that was a great show, and he did a very good job. And I would like to have some more people, some other authors of that book, come on to talk about the case. I talked with Andrew Lear, who's a author on that book, and he was telling me, he's like, I'm more of on the legal side of it, the court proceedings and stuff like that that happened. I'm like, that's still interesting. I'm like, people still want to hear about that. So maybe we'll have Andrew on, but I definitely want to have Matt back on, especially when his channel starts to go live again on season 3 continued or 4, whatever you want to call it, where he dives into, you know, Oswald, the mafia and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely. What's Tuesday's itinerary? LOL. Oh yes. I don't know. I don't know. Tuesday, for anybody who's not aware, Rich and I are going to be going to the Lizzie house. I'm probably going to film some stuff there. I'm not entirely sure. It really sort of just depends on the vibe. I'm going to go there, open mind. I've never been to Lizzie house on the day of the crime, the day of the murders. Go there with Rich and sort of just hang out, take the tour at like 10:30 or whatever the time the tour is, I forget. And do the whole thing, hang out, and then I'm probably either going to walk or drive over to the cemetery, not the cemetery, nope, the coffee shop. I want to see the Lizzie's coffee, and do the Lizzie coffee thing, have a cup of coffee there. It's fitting, right? Try to meet the owner if the owner's there. I'm assuming that he will be, considering it's the day of the crime. I'm assuming that's like Christmas for him, right? Like that would only make sense. So if he's there, or the owner's there, or what is the owner's daughter, Emily, the one who does all the paintings, if she's there, I'll try to talk to her, talk to someone in management down there, and just be like, I want to interview you guys, whether we do it via Zoom or I do it in person at the shop at a later date, not the day of. I will not be prepared. I could probably win it if I needed to, but I would want to book an interview with the owner of the shop, because I know he has his own theories, and I want to hear about what business has been like, who he's met in the process, because I'm sure you meet all sorts of people. Something that bugged me that I found out way too late was that last night there was a event at the Lizzie house. There was an event there with Cara Robertson, who we had on the show. Actually, not our first guest. Darren Schaefer was our first guest. But our first guest on Lizzie was Cara Robertson, and she is from LA, and she did a speaking engagement at the Lizzie house last night. I wish I knew about it. She said she was going to reach out to me when she was out here. She said, we'll have to like meet up and get coffee. So I might send her an email and be like, hey, Cara, when you leaving? When are you going to be out of here? You know? So hopefully she's here. Hopefully she'll be there Tuesday. Maybe her and Rich can, go and hang out at Lizzie's coffee. Maybe she'll be on the tour with us. Who knows? And then Barnabas, you'll get more than you bargained for. So be great. No, it'd be cool. I want to meet Cara. She was awesome to film with. And, we were all kind of nervous. We weren't really sure because how it was going to go. And it really set the tone for the whole show. Honestly, that was our first guest, because our first super serious guest, because it was, Rich had his view on Lizzie and Cara has her view on Lizzie. And we weren't sure how it was going to go. Was it going to be a confrontational show? We didn't know. And it really established how we can, discuss ideology, ideas, theory, use rhetoric and stuff like that on our show, and keep it educational, keep it conversational, keep it above board, keep it just smooth and interesting, even though we have different opinions. And it really set the tone. And so I'm very thankful for that interview. And that's one of my favorite interviews, by the way. Thank you for the super chat, Andrea. I appreciate you and Rich. Well, we appreciate you, Andrea. Thank you very, very much. That $10 is going to buy the coffee at Lizzie's. So thank you very much. I appreciate it always. And I hope you tune in if you're a Lizzie fan. Also on Tuesday, if we're talking about itinerary, we are going to be doing a live stream. Now, we can't do it live at the time of the murders because we'll be on tour, right? So what me and Rich are going to do, or what Rich is going to do is he's going to go live on Tuesday at 7:04 p.m. instead of 11:04 p.m. is when they suspected that the murders happened. So we're going to be going live at 7:04, and we'll just go live a little bit late. We will have already gotten home from Lizzie's house, and Rich will be in the hot seat answering your questions. And I don't know, maybe I'll go on. Maybe I'll be on it because I've never been to the Lizzie house, so that'd be kind of fun to talk about my first experience. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This cold brew latte is like too sugary. When all you drink is black coffee and you get like a latte, it's way too sugary, Yeah, it's like I gotta like chase it with water. It's like it's too thick. It's like it almost is like I'm drinking like a milkshake, sort of. So yeah, but also I would like to discuss with Rich about seeing Lizzie's tombstone. I'd like to go visit Lizzie and leave flowers on her grave, leave flowers on the deceased grave, all of them. Emma, Lizzie, Abby, Andrew, all of them. I don't know where the other daughter is. Where's Miss Borden one, and where's you know daughter? Where's the third daughter? Are they all buried in the same plot? The two wives and the third daughter? It's a good question. I have no idea. I got no clue. I know a lot about the case just off filming about it for months on months on months on months, but like when it comes to like weird specific things like that, I have no idea. But it's been a crazy week. Finally, we are out of a content drought. I feel like nobody is creating content. Nobody's creating content. And I feel like, honestly, like TSRP is like the only ones creating content, right? Like all the shows that I watch, Ryan Burns is creating content. He did his thing with Eric the other day. So finally we got some Ryan Burns live streams. I enjoy those 3-hour live streams. Eric did a live stream on Cooper. Finally we got a Cooper live stream. Why can't people post every day? Why can't like Eric and Ryan and Drew all figure it out? Be like, okay, Ryan posts on Mondays, Eric posts on Tuesdays, Drew posts on Wednesdays, I'll post on Sundays, and we figure it all out, right? Like I need more content. There's not enough because I don't have TV, so I have YouTube. I have YouTube Premium, and I just fly through content because I just listen to stuff all day long. Audiobooks, videos, YouTube, everything, right? So it's like I need more content. I need more interviews. I need more. Produce. Export. So, yeah. All right, let's see what's going on. Woohoo, Abby. Let's see what's going on here. What's Woohoo Abby for? I don't know. Will you film the Lizzie tour for us? I'll certainly try. I'm not sure what the house's policy on media is, so I'm just gonna film until they tell me not to, and then we'll just go from there. So yeah, that'll be that. All right. Darn, I missed this morning. Oh, it's quite all right. Way too much sugar. I know it is way too much sugar, cold case girl. It is way too much sugar. I don't really like try to eat. I'm trying to lose weight. I took the bulk too far. Now I have to cut. I took the bulk too far. I used to be like super skinny. Now I'm like skinny fat. So it's like I need to cut. So why am I drinking this? I don't know. I should stick to water and no food. I'm not going to eat until we get to Lizzie's house. That'll be it. I'm not going to eat. I got to lose a couple of lbs so that I look good on camera because I'll be walking around doing that whole thing, right? All right. Let's see. I lost my place. So that's why Route 24 is so crazy. Yeah. Weird question. Are we allowed to ask about any cases you talked about? Yeah, go ahead. It's an open Q&A. Ask whatever you want. I mean, I am yours for the hour. You can ask me about what I had for breakfast. You can ask me about Ted Bundy. I might not be able to answer much about Ted Bundy because once I do a case, it sort of like goes in and out. Because if I study the Zodiac for a week and a half, right? And then I go to Son of Sam, all that Zodiac information like just disappears. Because now I'm like moving subjects, right? Like I cover so much. Plus I also do a political talk show on a different channel. So it's like not only do I study political stuff, local politics, but I'm also studying true crime. So it's like for an instance, next Friday, the 7th, I am filming with Ned DeHaan on DB Cooper and his upcoming book on DB Cooper. And that he's with Black Box Online Radio. So we're filming with Ned 8:30 in the morning. At 10:30. So at 8:30 we're filming with Ned. At 10:30 I'm interviewing the select board chairman for a local town. And I'm going to be doing a 2-hour interview with him. So it's like I have to switch gears so quickly. So I go from DB Cooper to local politics. And I just have to switch gears. Fortunately, I'm 26, and if I have 2-3 pots of coffee, I can do that. But hey, we'll see. So, all right. Let's see what's going on. So yeah, ask me whatever you want. Would love to visit the Lizzie Borden house, but unfortunately I live in Ireland. You can call me JJ. My name is hard to pronounce. Yeah, I remember I just called you Jack the other day because I was like, I don't know what that is. So, plus I'm like halfway dyslexic. So, yeah, JJ. All right, very good. Olivia, awesome. I don't know what you mean by Olivia. Oh, Olivia, you're talking about the girl who does the artwork. So I got you. I got you, Faye. Very well. Olivia, thank you. I would have to reference the website beforehand. All right. What a fantastic interview that would be. Yeah, we must be talking about the Lizzie house. Big Bart, yes. Comments, questions, suggestions are always welcome. Yes, I'm here for you guys. So, yes, we're going to be investigating. And Barnabas, I don't know if you did it or not. I know you're going to the Lizzie thing, and can't wait to hang out with you for however many hours it will be. But we got the basement tour. It was an extra $5. I don't know if you got the basement tour, but we did. So you might want to check that. Because I don't want like to go into the basement and then you be like, I didn't get that. And then be like stranded outside for a minute. So let me just check that. All right, very well. Awesome. Can't wait. Woohoo, Abby. Yeah. Oh, that's why. Okay. Hi, Rich. So I wanted to, okay, there we go. Oh, talk to Tony on the phone about Yuba 5 and a guy named Drew about the Yuba 5 case. I got a lot of stuff I would like to tell people to make their jaw drop. I can say this. I met the niece of Jack Madruga in person. Oh, that's cool. We actually have Drew Beeson in chat right now. I know Tony, believe it or not, very well because I interviewed him. And I'm about to know Drew very well. I only know Drew from the chat. That's it. I know Drew from the chat and from his writings and from Santana True Crime interviews. That's all I know about Drew right now. And I will be studying up on Drew and Ted Braden. But I too will know Drew. Drew knows me because he's watching right now. But I don't really know him. He knows me, but I don't really know. That's the funny thing, right? Like you guys know everything about me. Well, not everything. But a lot about me. I don't really know you guys. What I'm looking at is a camera. I'm looking at literally a camera on a stick. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at. So it's funny. Like it's so weird. The thought, how that, think about that. Isn't it kind of weird? I don't know. Maybe I'm just strange. That's what it is. Okay, Seth and Ned together, great combo. We tried to film with Ned, but Ned like lives halfway across the globe, right? And the Wi-Fi just was not having it that day. Now we tried to film on Zoom, and Zoom was like, wrong answer, try again. So that was not working. Now we film with StreamYard. Everybody films with StreamYard. It's a better software. The only thing I don't like about StreamYard is that when you record on StreamYard, so when we do the interviews, right? I'm going to give you some inside baseball to TSRP. We have 3 cameras, Rich and I. We have camera 1, which is wide, camera 2, which is my close-up, which is what you're seeing right now, and then camera 3, which is Rich's close-up. So we have 3 cameras, 3 physical cameras with microphones that, not these ones, but internal microphones that we can pair up and match up all the video files in the editing software. And then we also have the recording of the call, the Zoom or the StreamYard recording, whatever, right? So I take all the video, I ingest it into Adobe Premiere, and then I do all my cuts and my editing and stuff like that, and I have fun with it. With Zoom, once you ended the recording, it was done. It was a local recording. It recorded right to my drive, and it was fine. For StreamYard, it doesn't start recording until it records to the cloud, and then it doesn't start your download until the recording is over. So we just recorded an episode with Bob Cyphers, a reporter from CBS, on Friday, and I was like, Bob, wait, don't go. And he's like, why? And I'm like, because it's downloading. I'm like, if you leave, it's gonna not send me your footage. I'm like, so I need you to stay in the chat for a few. So Bob had to sit in the StreamYard recording studio online for 10 minutes. And I'm like, Bob, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it is what it is. So Drew, just a heads up, when we do our recording, I'm going to ask you to just hang out for a couple of minutes until it's done doing its thing, and then I'll kick you loose. But if that doesn't happen, then what it's going to make me do is send you guys a link, and you're going to have to just sit on that browser until it uploads all your footage. I think it records locally on your computer, and then it basically just sends it to my computer. I don't know. I'm a video guy. I talk on camera. I work behind the camera, whatever. But I'm not an IT guy. I'm not an internet guy. I don't really understand how it works. I just push buttons until things happen, honestly. So, I don't know, man. But yeah, so, okay. All right, let's see what's going on in here. But yeah, you can contact us, Big Bart. If you wanted to contact us, there's a contact form on my website. It goes right to my email. And I can forward it to Rich if you need to get in contact with him. I only drink black coffee. The only way to drink black coffee. I used to drink, I swear to God, when I was a truck driver, right? When I was 21 to 23, I drove trucks for 2 years. My Freightliner and my International. When I drove trucks, I used to stop and get several coffees and food items every day, right? I would get this coffee order, and I used to weigh 225. I cut all the way down to 149. Right now, I'm 175. But at the time, I weighed 225. And my coffee that I would drink 2 or 3 times a day was a large iced caramel mocha swirl with cream and sugar. That shit was like drinking sand. It was so sugary. Literally, that was like a milkshake. It wasn't even a coffee. It was like this much sugar and that much coffee. It was crazy. So then how I ended up drinking black coffee, it wasn't because I would sip black coffee and I would drink it. I'd be like, ugh, it tastes like tar, right? As it does. It does. You have to acquire a taste for it. God, I sound like my dad trying to convince me to drink IPAs. My dad, dude, when I was 21, I'll get back to the coffee in a second. But when I was 21, what do you get a 21-year-old when they turn 21? Corona, Bud Light, Coors, whatever, right? You get them stuff like that. Thank you for the jewels. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for the jewels. So, what do you get a 21-year-old? You get them like just basic stuff. My dad went to the store. There's like a supermarket of liquor store, of like a liquor store, like down the street from my house. It's enormous. Literally, it's like one of the biggest ones in the country. And it's a warehouse. And he goes and he spends like over $100 on different imported IPAs and this IPA and that IPA, you know, and it's like I'm reading the labels of these IPAs and I'm like, wow, Satan's piss. Okay, all right, very nice. And then I'm reading this one and it's like sandbox leaves. And I'm like, oh wow, this sounds really tasty. And then I'm like, looking at this one and it's like tree bark dipped in hot sauce. And I'm like, whatever, right? I'm just making it up. And it's like, I started drinking these IPAs and these are like $7, $8 beers, like per can. And it was like the grossest thing ever. My dad's like, oh, it's an acquired taste. You have to just drink it. You just have to get through them and then you'll eventually like it. I'm like, that sounds like torture. That literally sounds like torture. And not only was he handing me all these imported IPAs that I did not like at all. I still really don't like them. I'll drink them, but I really don't like them. But not only is he handing me all these IPAs, but it's like he's handing me IPAs and stouts and shit like that, thick beers. And it's like 10:30 in the morning. So I'm drinking heavy beer at like 10 o'clock in the morning. And earlier in the morning, I had woken up and my roommate, Jake, he like taps me on the forehead. He's like 25 at the time. I'm like 21. Yo, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. And I'm like, what's up? And he has a handle, like a handle, like a big ass bottle that like bars use with literally a handle of Captain Morgan. And he's like, open your mouth, open your mouth, open your mouth. And I thought he was joking. This dude like poured it, like it went all over the place, like half the bottle. Like I was soaked in Captain Morgan. I had been awake for 8 seconds. I was soaked. I had to take a shower. And it like went up my nose. It like went down my throat. And I'm like, literally. And he's laughing and that's how my 21st birthday started. So not only it was just crazy. It was just crazy. But anyways, yeah, so I had to like break down my coffee order over a couple of months. Like, okay, no caramel. We're just going to go mocha. Okay, let's get rid of the mocha. We can just do cream and sugar. I like that. That's fine. Doesn't taste like piss. Doesn't taste like asphalt. And then I'm like, all right, you know what? I don't need the sugar. Let's get rid of the sugar. We'll just do cream. Cream. And then I'm like, okay, how many creams do you give me? 4? Okay, we'll do 2 creams. Okay, now we'll do 1 cream. And then it was like every other day. It was like black and then 1 cream. And then it was like black, then it was 1 cream. Then it was black, 1 cream. Black, 1 cream. Right? And I just broke it down that way. And that's the way I had to do it. I couldn't just cut it, right? I'm a picky eater, man. Not really, actually. I'll eat anything. But unless it comes from the ocean. That's when I get weird with food. Okay, I am so far behind on chats because I just ranted about food for like, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. Dude, I've already been live for 40 minutes. That's crazy. I feel like I just started. Okay. Where am I? I have meta glasses. You know what? I'm sorry. There's so many chats. I'm just going to start working backwards. I know someone who lost 50 pounds by giving up their regular Sprite. Only change they made. Caroline, same thing. Caroline used to drink like 3 sodas a day. From what she tells me, she used to drink like 3 sodas a day. And then she stopped and she lost like 40 pounds. That's it. You just got to cut out the unnecessary sugar. That's it. And you know what the hack is too? Like when you wake up, you're not really hungry because your body's in like a fasting state. Just drink a coffee. That's what I do. I drink a coffee and then, I usually wait for Caroline to get up, and then I make myself a big ass omelet. I used to do scrambled eggs. Now I'm like an omelet guy. I went to the omelets. I had scrambled eggs every single day for breakfast for 3 years. And now I'm like on the omelet. I eat the same food every single day. I eat the same food every day. Every day. My diet doesn't change. It was in Minnesota. It's called the Murders Never Found. Hilemian, bro, JJ, I don't know what that is. Axe murders never found the killer. Ooh. Axe murders, you say? Might be able to look at that. Can we have pizza and cheese and other things to be healthy and not so things and to things be healthy? Bro, I love my grandmother. I do. I love my grandmother. She's the best. She said to me one time, she's like, yeah, like I really need to start eating more healthy. And why don't we go out and get some healthy food? I'm like, okay, cool. So me and Nana, my mom, and my brother, we all go out, right? This was like 2 years ago. And she's like, yeah, I think I'm going to stay healthy. I'm going to have a pizza. And my mom and I just look at each other. We're just like, did she just say she's going to be healthy and have a pizza? We're at like a greasy pizza shop. Something that would like come out of The Simpsons or something, right? Just like a stereotypical pizza shop, like enough grease that you could float a boat on it. And yeah, the whole bottom of the box is soaked, right? Like, you know what I'm talking about. And one of us, I forget who it was, said to her, we're like, what do you mean healthy? Like pizza's, he goes, oh no, it's got like cheese and vegetables on it. I'm like, Nana, there's 11 pounds of grease in that pizza. That is not healthy. That is not healthy. I don't know. But yeah, crazy. Blew my mind. I was like, dude. But yeah, no, that's her definition of healthy. Seth and Rich, you guys should check out The Lost Boys of Pickering Case. The Lost Boys of Pickering Case. What is that? I heard of Clean Murders. It was determined to be murder-suicide. Oh, interesting. Drew, I'll add it to our list. Thank you. Rich, I'm going to task you with that, please. It's a Canadian Yuba 5 to an extent. Jesus, I can't read. Plus, my font on my phone is so small. Like, look at that. It's so small. I have a hard time seeing it. We also got to look at the Dyatlov Pass incident in Russia. Was it Russia or Soviet Union? We got to look at that. That's another one. Drew, I'm not going to lie, Drew. If there's a show that I'm excited about in the future, it's our Roswell episode that we're going to do. Sorry if I didn't ask you about Roswell, if we're going to do one or not, but we are. And I'm really looking forward to that. I sort of just like voluntold you that you're doing a Roswell episode. But you said you're into Roswell, right? And I'm looking forward to it. I am. Because I know nothing about it. The episodes I enjoy the most are the ones that I know absolutely nothing about that are super popular. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So, Drew, TSRP and what's your channel's name? What's the channel name? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. Drew Beeson, True Crime and Missing People. TSRP and DB. Oh, I just cracked the case. DB Cooper is actually Drew Beeson. Drew Beeson Cooper. Case closed. Ryan, we got him. Case solved. I figured it out. I just cracked the code. So, yeah, our channel's going to have a good working relationship. I can tell. Okay, cool. Let's see what else we got going on. Seth, do you have So, do you have any time off this summer? Any plans? Um, Not really. I'm my next vacation is my next vacation is CooperCon. I'm going to CooperCon. Get this, okay? Get this. So I go to book CooperCon, right? Because I like when I go on vacations, I like to have everything prepaid so that I'm not like having a shitload of like credit or debits hit my account at the same time. I like to prepay everything so that way I can control when I pay it and all that stuff, right? So I go on like a month ago, 30 days, 45 days ago, whatever it was, right? I go on JetBlue to book my flight there and back because I was going to book the flight first and then wait a month or so. And then I was going to book the hotel and then wait a month or so and then set up my Ubers in advance, wait a month or so, right? Like get everything all set up so that I can literally just go there and it's fine. Everything's covered. Like past Seth, thank you, right? So I go on JetBlue and I go to book my book my flight through JetBlue because they got TVs that I probably won't use because I pay for the Wi-Fi and I just work when I'm on the plane. And I go on and I'm like, all right, how much is it? And I'm like looking at like economy or business. That's like the range of seating that I gave it, like economy or business. And you're like 3/4 of the way back in the plane, whatever, right? And I'm like looking at the pricing. The pricing's like $2,000 for a round trip ticket, there and back, with stops in between. By the way, with you have to like swap planes, right? So I'm like $2,000. I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, I'm not paying that. So I'm like, for economy, for seat 47. I'm like, I'm not paying that for $2,000. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, I had a really good experience with Southwest last time. They did great. They left on time. They got there early. It was fine. Both times I went on Southwest, I was extremely satisfied. They let you board. They boarded earlier than later, and it was just quick. They did very well. So I go on Southwest, right? And I'm like, okay. I'm like, I got to either price match or beat $2,000 with a better seat, right? So I go and I'm like, screw it. I'm like, I feel like Southwest is going to be cheaper because they don't have like a specific first class. They just have one row of seating, but the classes range between how early you get to board the plane and if you want a very specific seat or not. So I picked like class A, right? Like the top class, whatever, like the highest one you could get just to see the pricing. And my seats are 1A. My seats that I booked are 1A. Round trip, $600. I get first class, round trip, 600 beans, and I get 2 free checked bags, free Wi-Fi, free drinks, board early, off first, and I get extra leg room. I get to know my carry-on fits. That's amazing. Last time, we all know the story about what happened last time, right? I think I've told this. So I'm leaving Tina Bar, right? Me and Eric Ulis, me and Ericulus, we go on to Tina Bar. We're going to go and look at Tina Bar. We're going to investigate. We're going to search the woods. We do the whole thing. I do a docu-vlog series type thing with it, and we have a lot of fun. And I was stoked that I got to see Tina Bar because I've been into Cooper for years. I've been into the Cooper case since I was like 17. I just didn't know much about it until very recently. I liked watching all the infographic stuff, the documentaries on it, whatever, right? But I wasn't like a student of the case until very, very recently when I met Darren. So Eric sends me a text, yo, we're doing this thing. If you want to come, great. And I'm like, yeah, I'm down. I want to see Tina Bar. So I'm like, I don't know if I agree with you on the location of where the money or parachute could be. I'm like, but I want to see Tina Bar and I want to experience this. So YOLO, fuck it. So I get there, we do the whole thing, right? I'm on my way back. And my American Airlines, they were running late. So American Airlines was running late, and I was getting on. I stopped in Denver, and I was connecting to another American Airlines. So they ran late, and that second American Airlines was holding off. And I get up, and I literally get up and I run from one section of the terminal to the other, off the plane as fast as I can. I'm like jogging to this next terminal. And I have all my camera equipment. I have my $5,000 drone. I got probably my bag in total probably costs about, like with all my camera equipment, it probably was about $10,000 to $12,000 worth of equipment, lithium ion batteries that I had with me, all sorts of stuff that should not go in the bottom. And I'm like, so I finally get to the gate, and they're like about to close the gate. It's so, like, we are running so late. And I go in there, and they're like, sir, you cannot bring your bag with you. You have to do checked bag. There's no room. And I'm like, what do you mean there's no room? I'm like, this bag can't go down bottom. I'm like, there's lithium ion batteries. They're like, no, it has to. I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, this bag cannot go down there. And he grabs it out of my hand. The gate agent grabs the bag out of my hand. He's like, it has to go. We're leaving. And I grab the bag. I'm like, that bag's going to catch fire if it goes downstairs. And like, I caused a scene. And I didn't mean to. I wanted to film it all, but I was so late. So the manager comes over, and now like it's this big scene, right? And I'm trying to tell them that there's lithium ion batteries. There's like a dozen of them. My 4 drone batteries are giant lithium ion batteries, giant batteries that cannot go in. They cannot be, they need to be pressurized. If they lose pressure, they can explode. And I'm trying to explain to them that there's, a dozen of these batteries, all different cameras and whatnot. And I'm like, you cannot put this down bottom. And eventually one of the gate agents goes and he grabs like a shopping bag, and he's like, put all your batteries in this bag. So I put all the batteries in the shopping, literally it's like a I Heart Denver bag, right? And he's like, you're going to hold this on the flight. So dude, so I have this I Heart bag, right? And I'm like walking onto the plane like an asshole. And they send my bag down bottom. And I'm like panicking because I have so much camera equipment in there. I'm freaking out, right? And I get in my seat, and I sat next to the two biggest guys on the very last row of the plane. And I'm squeezed in the middle. So I'm like this, right? And I'm like squeezed in my seat. These guys, their legs, their hairy ass legs are touching me. Their arms are touching me. They smell weird. All I smell is like burps and farts. And that's like all I smelled the entire trip. And it was a 3.5 hour or whatever flight it was from Denver. And I'm claustrophobic too. Like I need space. And I'm like, I'm gonna jump out of the plane. I'm gonna jump out of the plane. I'm going to wrestle the pilot, and I'm going to jump out of the plane. When you're a wrestler, they teach you how to fall, right? So I'm like about to like have a mental breakdown because I'm so tight, and we get back, we finally land. And I'm like, the whole flight, I can't even work on my laptop. Like my laptop was in my briefcase. I couldn't even get to my briefcase. And the whole flight, I'm just sitting there like this. I was so irritated. And because I had like my boarding ticket was like FF was like my boarding ticket, whatever it was, right? That was the first time I'd been on a plane. That Auriculus trip was the first time I had been on a plane in like over a decade. So I was not aware. Probably 2 decades. I probably hadn't been on a plane since I was like 5 or 6 years old. So I didn't know how like the boarding system. When I booked my flights, I just booked the cheapest tickets. So I was like, whatever, screw it, right? But now I learned my lesson. I'm like, nah. I'm like, I am solely booking like the extra legroom seats, and I'm getting early boarding, and we're doing this like the right way. I'm not doing that again. And not only that, but the whole time I'm sitting there with this I Heart Denver bag or whatever it was, right? The bag. I'm sitting there with the bag like this. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, please God, if you exist, please let it be that I grabbed all of the lithium ion batteries, because not only did I have to grab it, but I had people watching me. And you know how like when someone like your coworker is just like watching you do something and you start like fucking up, like, cause you're being observed. That's how I felt. And I was like rushing to grab all the batteries. And I'm like, please tell me that I got all the batteries. And I'm like nervous. I was so nervous and irritated, and and then I land, and I text Caroline, and Caroline's like, I'm like, hey, we had originally booked to meet me for her to meet me at Boston Logan Airport. And she's like, hey, just jump on the bus and, I'll pick you up in Braintree. And I hate public transportation. I hate it with a passion. I hate public transportation. I hate buses. I don't trust them. Don't like it at all. So now I'm even more irritated because now I'm on this bus and it's like 10:30 at night and there's traffic. There's traffic in Boston at 10:30 at night, and I just want to get home. I've been on flights since like 7 a.m. this morning, and I was just so irritated. So I'm like, fuck it. We are booking the best seats we can on these Southwest flights. I had enough. All set. I had enough of the flights, so I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a good time. I don't know how we got on that. But that was not in the docu-vlog that I did. None of that was. No, if you watch the docu-vlog closely, you'll notice that there's a jump from when I got on the first plane. And then I just got home. Because I did not docu-vlog the what do you call it? The MBTA bus, the second airline flight, none of that. I didn't do any of that. So I was like, I finally got in Caroline's car and I was like, right? And I was like, damn it. I'm like, I didn't film anything for the last like 7 hours. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to edit this together. So I was all nervous, freaking out a little bit, but hey, it is what it is. All right, let's see what we got going on here. I'm sorry, but I am laughing my ass off right now. I'm envisioning this. Yeah, no, dude. So you're going to be DB Cooper without the money? Yeah, exactly. Jump. Yes. But did you get all your camera equipment okay? I'm wondering as you can really tell a good story. I keep wondering as you can really tell a good story. Sorry. Yeah, no, I got the camera equipment. And surprisingly, the checked bags came out really fast. And I'm like, watch. I'm like, I'm going to miss my bus, like everything. Like, so like the checked bags came out, and then like I got my bag. They came out like within like a minute of me standing there. Actually, no, I think I walked over to the checked bags area, like where they came out the belt. I grabbed them. It was already like I walked over to it and it was already on I saw it. I was like, oh, perfect. So I grabbed it. And then I look at my phone and Caroline's like, just take the bus. I'll meet you in Braintree. And I'm like, oh, brother. And I look and there's my bus. And I'm like, oh my God, don't leave. So like I jog over to the bus. And I got right on the bus. So I was like, okay, cool. If the bags had taken 25 minutes and then the next bus showed up, 40 minutes after, I would have been so irritated. No, but it went fine. It went fine. I hate public transportation. I just do. I just don't like it. It comes with paranoia. Many of you know who have been watching this show for a while that I do have a paranoia type issue, but that's from some PTSD type stuff that I had when I was in my 20s, my early 20s. But yeah. So yeah, no, it worked well. Hi Seth and chat. What's going on, Alex? How you doing? Good to see you. Oh my God. If this doesn't make for a short story, I don't know what does. I am laughing my ass off, but he is reliving the whole experience to the point, I feel so bad for him. No, it was fine. It was fine. I took vacation days, so it was okay. I sent you guys an email on your website, just a heads up. Did you send that today? I saw that. I got a couple of emails today. I was assisting Caroline's mom in grabbing some like items from her garage. So I was a bit busy for the past couple of hours. I sort of threw the set together quickly, and then took a shower and hopped on. So I haven't really looked at my email, but I'll either look at it tonight or tomorrow. Probably tonight. I will. But if any of you ever want to get in contact with me on a private message or whatever, you can send me a DM on Instagram. I'm always on Instagram. Or there's a contact form on the website, and you can get in direct contact with me. It goes to my phone. And then if you need to get in contact with Rich, I can either relay the info to Rich, or I can forward the email to him, and he can respond. Seth, can you tell us about the Bigfoot investigation? Did you see anything? Ha! Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on. You're fine. Just wanted to give a common courtesy. Thank you very much, Big Bart. Appreciate it. Bigfoot. Yes. Okay. Sasquatch. So, dude. So it's gonna be a TV show. So I'm not gonna get too deep on the details because it's literally a TV show and it's not my owned production. I don't own the production. WRPS TV owns the production, not me. So I'm just the producer. So it's like, I'll get into it a little bit. The evidence that was provided, and I'm going to let you guys look at this. I'm going to leave some stuff out so you guys can watch it, and it'll air on Halloween. It's supposed to be a Halloween special. The evidence that was provided showed, actually, hold on. Let me start with this. Something that I learned from our hosts for our special guests, our special hosts on the show, is that these gentlemen that hosted the show believe and have photo evidence that Bigfoot is an interdimensional being that uses light portals to traverse and travel the forests, in that Bigfoot, in fact, is actually a being placed in the forest and given these interdimensional portal powers by God himself. They are these Bigfoot, the Bigfoot family that we were chasing, not hunting, but investigating and trying to find, were placed there by God himself. That is the premise of the show. Do I believe it? Can't really say, because I don't want to spoil the episode for you guys. But the real piece of evidence that we found that was kind of like, okay, maybe, was a footprint. The footprint was kind of weird because it was wet there. So, it was in like a mud pile, but it literally had outlines of like toes, right? And we were like a mile deep in the woods in Middleborough. We were way in there. And the footprint, using a special type of camera, it was sort of convincing because it literally looked like a footprint. And I was like, me not being a believer in Bigfoot or in ghosts or whatever, right? I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like, either that's like a really good fake or that's something strange. But I have my own ideas about what it was and why it happened. I think someone was walking barefoot and slipped. That's what I think happened with Bigfoot. Also, I'm not sure how much about how much about Bigfoot you guys know, but apparently Bigfoot has hands and thumbs and like working fingers, right? That was a topic that we explored during the filming, quite a bit actually, was the ability for Bigfoot to open candy wrappers and not just chew them, right? So that was a piece of evidence that they provided with us was look at these candy wrappers. They are not chewed open, they are torn, showing that something with fingers and thumbs opened them, as well as a empty licked clean jar of peanut butter that was out there that they supposedly left out there, and Bigfoot used its long tongue to clean out the inside of the jar. Some things like that. Potentially we found a hut and some weird architecture that we found out there. I can try to describe it to you guys now, but it really wouldn't do you any good without seeing the footage of it. There's a lot of footage. We were out there for about 5 hours looking for Bigfoot. But yeah, the goal of the show is not to convince you that we found Bigfoot. The goal of the show is to give you a lens through an investigator. This is what it looks like to investigate these histories and hauntings, is literally what the show is called. So the show, I'm going to edit the show. I'm the editor. I'm not going to edit the show to try to convince you Bigfoot's real. I'm going to edit the show like a historian would. And it'll be fine and it'll be a good show, but it definitely is it's definitely going to be a unique perspective on Bigfoot. That's about as much as I'll get into right now with it. I will do a live watch party in 2 months, 3 months at the end of October on Halloween. I'll do a live watch party for the shows. I think they're going to air Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Halloween's on a Saturday, right? So I'll probably do 3 watch parties. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. When is Halloween? Yeah, it's on Saturday. Yeah, so it'll be Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 3-part series, 3-part TV show, and yeah, it'll be good. I'll probably have Matt Warner on here to do some like hype and stuff like that, some promotional stuff for the show. It'll be pretty good though. Be pretty good. We're gonna do a investigation on cryptids, little mythical creatures that like look like. Dude, I don't even know, how do you describe what a cryptid looks like? They're like goblins. They're like woods goblins, like rainforest goblins. Puck wedgies. That's what they are. They're puck wedgies, not cryptids. Cryptids is a universal term, Bigfoot included. Puck wedgies is going to be another one. I want to do an overnight puck wedgies camping investigation where I set up a couple of staged cameras somewhere, whatever, and like me and Matt camp in the woods. I won't be on TV, but yeah. So we're still working out the idea for the puck wedgie episode, but Bridgewater Triangle, Bigfoot, puck wedgies. Should be good. It'll be interesting. It'll definitely be worth watching. It'll be free on YouTube. You guys can watch it for free. It's definitely it'll definitely be worth the watch. All right. Puck wedgies are in Weymouth. Sandy, I don't believe in puck wedgies. You look up the AI definition of puck wedgies. It literally says mythical. I could be wrong. My tattoo artist that I went to told me that he had puck wedgies in his backyard, so maybe they are real, but I don't know. I don't. Why can't they just be raccoons or like a dog? Like as the joke goes, like I shot Bigfoot, but by the time I got to him, he had already transformed back into my neighbor's dog. You know, like I don't know. I have a hard time believing in it. I have a very narrow, dogmatic view of the supernatural. I'm gonna go with you if you do that and set up my tent and my camera because that sounds like a ball. Dude, on set filming is stressful. Is this season Histories and Hauntings all in the Bridgewater Triangle? Yeah. So we filmed the first episode. I can't disclose it. The studio doesn't want to disclose it, and it'd be more of a headache for me to give the location of the Bigfoot thing. But somewhere in the Bridgewater Triangle, we went looking for Bigfoot. I have the exact location because I pinned it on my phone, on my maps. So, but the episode 1 is going to be sort of giving the history of the Bridgewater Triangle, taking a tour, looking at some of the grave sites and stuff like that. Some of the good stuff. It'll be fun. It's a fun. Episode 1 will be a really good episode. I'm really looking forward to it. Episode 2 is going to be a little weird because that's the Bigfoot one. That's the Bigfoot one. That's going to be a little strange. Yo, can you dress up with crazy hair, green and black stripes like a football player on your cheeks? Black stripe on your cheeks and have twigs in your hair as if you live stream Bigfoot. Yeah, right. I'm actually kind of surprised. I thought that I was gonna bet like that the guys that were taking us through a tour of their Bigfoot hunting ground area were gonna have someone staged in the woods, and that did not happen. And I was like, because like me, if I was doing it and I wanted publicity, I would just like give my friend $25 and I'd be like, yo, here's $25. I'll buy you a chicken parm calzone. Go stand in the woods and respond to what we do. You know, that like go stand a half mile away in the woods and respond to what we do. That's what I would have done, but that's not what happened. So it'll be an interesting show. We appreciate your historical splendor, Seth. Ooh, nice vocabulary. I do not. Splendor. I don't know what that means. Sorry. I'm assuming that means like my attitude. Cryptids are home. Florestians. The Hobbit humans, Filipino island people, say they still live in the jungle. Cryptids, I thought was a blanket term for the supernatural, like Bigfoot, Puckwudgies, ghosts, stuff like that. If you guys want the host of the show, I actually had on, he was one of my first true crime haunting type guests. You can look way back on the channel. Go all the way down to the bottom. You'll find it. Matt Warner. We talk about ghost stories, how he went investigating inside a prison. It's a good show. Check it out. Did good. It got like 30,000 views. It's right before Rich came on the show. I don't believe in them either. How about Caroline gives you a wedgie instead? Yeah. Puck wedgie is a AI creation. Your tattoo artist took mescaline. Yeah. Puck wedgies are in Weymouth. I'm gonna go. Let's see. Catching up. Awesome. Thanks for answering. I'm excited to watch. Love all things spooky. Yes. Bigfoot is in Connecticut. Yeah, there's a lot of news stuff going on right now about Bigfoot in Connecticut. I believe in Bigfoot. Heard stories from friends. I don't have the imagination for it. I just don't. I'm sorry. Damn Siri, I was babysitting. We don't have any curtains. We had moved into a new house in the woods. My little brother was crying, so me and my other brother looked out the window, and there it was. Oh, there you go. This is a real stinky story Seth about to tell. Yeah, I know. Rich got the full story, but I'm not broadcasting the full story in front of hundreds of people with when I tell Rich. So it's like I don't want to just like blow the whole episode and just like throw it all out there. Like I want to give you guys something to watch too, right? I want to make it fun. But no, it'll definitely be an interesting episode. But no, we did go Bigfoot hunting for like 5 hours. I'm not much more of a believer now than I was beforehand, but it's not really moving the goalposts. It's just I just haven't seen evidence. For me, I need to see it. I need Bigfoot to knock on that window and breathe in the window. And then I'll be like, holy shit, I need more guns. That's going to be my reaction is get the AR. My thing is if Bigfoot's real, where are the skeletons? Where are the bodies? Where are they? Do they eat their own dead? Where are the bones? You know? People argue whether dinosaurs are real. They say they're just weird looking rocks. But we have a skeleton of them from 60 something million years ago, you know? We know they existed because we have the rock statues and assemblies of their, or the bone assemblies of their skeleton. So where are the Bigfoot ones? Unless they're interdimensional and they only eat, go to the bathroom, walk around, live in this dimension, and then they go and die in another one. But if that's the case, then why hasn't somebody caught them on a Ring camera? You know, it's like that's just the way that I look at these things, is where's the evidence? You know? Maybe it's a narrow view. Seth, can you tell us about your Bigfoot? Yep. All right. Let's see. Good night, Rich. Yes, where is any evidence? Exactly. Rich, have a good night. I live in Connecticut, the central part. No talk of Bigfoot sightings. It's all over the news, Alex. You're going to have to look. They hide them also. Hi, Seth. Hi, Corey. How are you? No trail cam footage, no dead bodies. Exactly. You would think you'd find them. I won't believe it until I see it with my own eyes. I've had some weird ghost stories, but that's it. They're just stories. They're not, I haven't seen like a ghost right there, right? Yeah, I get weird feelings and whatnot, and sometimes I'm like, oh, there's someone watching me, like a ghost or something like that. Like everybody gets that, like, you know, especially late at night when it is dark out, when vision is poor and traffic is driving by and you see traffic move and you think you see something out the corner of your eye and now you're thinking about it. Now there's a ghost in the house. What am I going to do? I don't know. My solution, if you're afraid of ghosts, is just go to bed early. Demons can't eat your soul if you're sleeping. Just go to bed. That's my idea. I don't know. Yeah. You know, and it's like, it's either you've seen them or you haven't. I know that sounds so stupid, but it's literally black or white. I've seen Bigfoot, puck wedgies. They've been in my backyard, and I had 5 demon encounters in my old house. I lived in a house that 15 people were murdered in. Or it's like me, no paranormal experiences. And any paranormal experiences that I've had can be chalked up to the placebo effect. We all have heard the story about Histories and Hauntings, Season 1, Episode 1. If you haven't heard about it, watch it. Episode 2, I'm sorry. Investigation 1, Episode 2. At the Abington Depot, where a demon was, or a ghost was possibly squeezing my back and Matt's back at the same time. And then when Matt called for it to release, I literally felt it let go of my body. I swear on Caroline's life. I swear to God. Right hand to God. Right hand to God. I swear. I have a Bible over there. I will swear on the Bible. You know what? Actually, hold that thought. Now I got to get comfortable again. This is a Bible, right? Yeah. I don't know what that says. Romans 15. Testament. It says Testament. This Bible is from 1917. I swear. How do you do it? I've never sworn on a Bible before. I swear on a Bible that story is true about something letting go of my back. I felt something squeezing my back, and then when Matt said let go of us, it went away. I could not believe it. I couldn't believe it. It blew my mind. That was the only paranormal experience I've ever had, but I can chalk that up to the placebo effect. When I hear Matt say, let go of us, my brain automatically is expecting something to let go of me. And who knows? The body's weird with the way it responds with the skeleton and stuff like that, muscles and whatnot. I don't know. But, yeah. All right. Back in the 70s, the late 70s, I wonder if that was documented because they have a little crew out there taking measurements and things. Yeah. I'm not sure. Definition is of cryptid. Is an animal whose existence is claimed through folklore and stories. Okay, yeah, so like Bigfoot, Pukwudgie, stuff like that. I swear on a Bible. I swear to God. I swear to God. I swear to God, I'm not lying to you. I swear I am not lying to you. Strike me down if I'm lying. 100%. 100%. But I fully acknowledge that it could be the placebo effect. In fact, I would bet on that. Well, you don't have to worry. The government will not kidnap you because they will not be able to brainwash you, LOL, so you're safe. I don't know. I swear. Yeah. I believe it's Tucker Carlson said he had scratches on his back. I heard about that. Man, Tucker. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Tucker. Hit me up. Actually, you did hit me up. We can chat about it. Do you believe in the Loch Ness Monster? No. No, because we would have found it by now. There would have been a carcass or something. And what created that? So now you're assuming that there's a family of Loch Ness Monsters, right? Or if there's one, then where'd it come from? I don't think so. I think Fact or Faked, the TV show, proved that you could stage it. You know, it's sort of like, why is every alien sighting in the sky blurry? Nobody knows how to hold a camera. You know? So, yeah. Used to love Tucker. Now he's super weird. He's a spook. Don't know what's up with him. He's a spook. Your thoughts on Bigfoot mind speak? Bigfoot mind speak? What? So that they communicate telepathically? Is that what you're asking? No. What our tour guides were telling us was that the way to get in contact with Bigfoot was to do a series of chants. I swear to God, I'm not lying to you. They had us in the woods. Whoop! Whoop! That was how we did it, was woo whoop. And there were other things that we did as well. Yeah, basically. Oh, no, they, woo whoop, like things like that. That's Dunga. Dunga. Now it's coming back to me. Dunga. The other thing was that the tour guy was talking to Bigfoot. Dunga, it's me. It's me, Richie. I'm here with my friends. I'm like, okay, so does Bigfoot have an MFA? Does he speak English? If he speaks English, then why doesn't he just come and play cards with us? We have him come over, do the talk show. I got a chair right here. I got another seat right here. Have him come on the show. If he speaks, be like Dr. Squash. Right? Do not go to the Appalachian Mountains near Tennessee or North Carolina and make a sound in the woods, especially at night. I'm sure there's a bunch of animals in there. Loch Ness Monster bogus because no physical proof. Guy who walks on water and resurrects the dead exists because I read it in a book. No proof. I read it in a book, so it's real. I'm not making fun of religion. I'm not. I am too uneducated on Christianity to make fun of it. I am too, and if I was to pick, okay, we can get in a whole thing here. I believe that society is better with religion. I do. And I also believe that society is better with Christian religion. I feel like Protestants, Catholics have done a lot for the world. There's also been a lot of death with it. But I feel like it generally, and if you break it down, it's a net positive. It's a net positive. That being said, I also know nothing really about it. I just know through my own experiences. Now, I've not been baptized. I work at a funeral home, and the only time I'm really ever in church is for funeral services, wakes, stuff like that. Actually, no, not wakes, funerals. Things like that. I've spent a lot of time. I worked a funeral on Saturday, actually, yesterday. And I've spent a lot of time in in church doing funerals. But I'm working when I do that, and I'm not really paying attention. So I don't know much about the Bible. I'd like to read it. I would. Although I don't subscribe to a particular religion, I would enjoy reading the Bible because I want to understand what it's about. How can I criticize something if I don't understand it, right? It's like saying I don't like tacos, but I've never had one. It just looks weird, right? Like how can you can't cast judgment upon something that you have no experience with. So that's my stance on religion. If Jesus was real, then so was Zeus. That's who I believe is that's who I believe in, Zeus. Hey man, whatever gets you through it. When I first discovered this channel, I thought Seth was Amish. Yeah, I know. I what? Because of the hat? It's the hat. It's okay. No, I'm not Amish. I don't believe in religion. I believe in the creator. Well, what's the creator? You know? Who knows? Was it aliens? You make Yuba County 5 sounds in the woods to call for Bigfoot pretty much. Yeah. I've seen lizards run across water. We calling them Jesus lizard. Apparently I said something funny. It's insane. Haha, I'm crying. I don't know what I said. I must have said something funny. Amish, though, that is hysterical. There is proof Jesus was real. Yeah, there were witness people, disciples and stuff like that. I would be more apt to believe that Jesus was real. I would be. I would be more apt to believe in Jesus was real over something like UFOs or Bigfoot, because people have actually seen, humans with their own eyeballs have actually seen Jesus. Whether he is what he's believed to be or not, people have actually seen him. He was a real person, I believe. I believe he was a real person. I believe that that's where all the stories and the writings stem from. From the little, I'm not an expert, from the little that I understand. But I believe that he was a real person. And that when you start to get, like with my father, him and I have had some serious, rigorous debates about this. He'll sit here and tell me that religion is BS and that he doesn't believe in it and there's no way it's real. But then he'll also tell me that aliens are real and they're on the other side of the moon, and the moon is a alien base. Why? Oh, because I know it. How can you not believe that? I'm like, okay, so Dad, you're telling me that something that no one has ever seen before is real, but something that people have actually seen, that I believe he was a real person, whether or not he is everything is said about him to be true, people have seen him. He was a real person. They believe they have his grave and potential belongings. How are you, like, if you believe in aliens, then you must believe that this guy existed, because if you're willing to assume that this is real, then you have to be able to assume that this is real. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Am I making sense? Does what I'm saying make, is what I'm saying making sense? If you're going to believe something that's so assumption heavy as aliens occupying space rock moon, and that we actually are descendants from Martians, then you gotta be able to believe that. You got to be able to believe or accept, with a specific standard of evidence, that Jesus is a real person. You must. It's just theory. It's just breaking it down based off probability and theory. That's all that this is. But it changes, and sometimes people don't look at that. I look at it like, okay, I don't believe in aliens, but I'm not subscribed to a religion. I haven't been taught about being a good Christian or being a Protestant, whatever. I haven't been taught about these things my entire life. It's been left to me to learn about them through my own devices. So I can look at these things through an open mind and a clean slate, which is what I'm doing. And though I don't have all the information, this is how I see it as of right now. But I do believe that the world is better off with religion. I do. Have you ever met George Washington? Or anyone that met them? No, but it's written from history. Exactly. Though George Washington was a lot more recent than Jesus. The worst enemies of Jesus said he was real. Yeah. The Bible is not history. It is a made-up book. It very possibly could be, but we just will never know. None of us could ever prove it. And the only way we'll be able to prove it is at the end of the game, man, when the loading screen kicks on. We'll find out then what happens. Who knows? I hope to God, I hope that there is an after. I talked to my grandmother about this. My grandmother is an atheist. She admits it. Nothing wrong with it. It's fine. Whatever. To each his own. Freedom of religion, freedom of speech. I said to her, Nana, and again, I do not have a declared religion. I have not made that decision yet. But I said to her, Nana, are you comfortable with the idea of nothing? Or would you like to believe that there is something after death? And she's like, I'm not sure. I'm like, does it make you feel better if there's nothing? Or would you like there to be something? She couldn't really answer it. And I think ultimately everybody wants there to be something after death, because we just can't compute the idea that there's nothing. Like, you turn the TV off, something has power. You know, like this, how can there be nothing? That's how I feel. It's like, oh, so, so much to think about. So much to think about, so little time. So little time. When is Jesus, where Jesus is buried, can we go see his tombstone? George Washington has one. You know, I've never been to Washington's tombstone. I would like to. He is risen, so it doesn't have a grave. How do you know that? I will let you guys discuss it. I don't know. I'm quickly getting out of my wheelhouse of knowledge. I guess the best evidence is that people saw him. If you're willing to accept the idea that aliens exist or ghosts exist, things that, let's be honest, you really might not be able to see. We rely more on instinct when looking at things like Bigfoot, ghosts, the sixth sense, stuff like that. You know, your intuition. It's like we have like we're relying on our subconscious to figure things out. But with this, people potentially saw him in person. And with aliens, you're relying on documents or whistleblower. It's all, you know, nothing that I'm going to say is ever going to change anybody's perspective. I'm just giving my perspective of how I look at things, how I analyze things. And the question then arises is, would I be more or less comfortable being or having there be a God or not? I think that I live a very righteous life. I feel like I'm on the mountain of good. I feel like I'm on the mountain of good and that I'm not in the valley of wrong. I don't feel like I do wrong. You know, yeah, I certainly have done things wrong in my life. I've made large mistakes and countless small mistakes. There are certainly things that I would do over. But everything that I've done in my life has led me to this moment right here, and I'm happy where I am. And I feel like I live on the mountain of right. Not the valley of evil. But I would be comfortable with the idea if the lights went out tomorrow for whatever reason, and I, you know, went to this place we call heaven, I would hope that that's the case. I would, because I feel like within my own life that if there's a court and there's a jury, the jury will vote to send me up, not down. So I feel comfortable saying that, you know, I hope that there is something. And I hope that I can be forgiven for not claiming that I know exactly what it is, because I don't. I just don't know exactly what it is. I look at things critically. I do. So I don't know. We'll figure it all out, though. Eventually, we'll know. Maybe we'll be conscious of it. And if you're not conscious, well, then there's your answer. But we all have a long time before we get there. There is a lawyer in heaven. Yeah, exactly. But it will be okay in the long run. In the beginning, there was no idea of humans dying. Adam and Eve brought that on us. We know that isn't rational to live and then die. There is no purpose in that, but it will be okay. The people in the Titanic died horribly. They believed it was unsinkable. That's a good point. I believe the apostles died horribly, except John, who lived to an old age. And why would they die for something they didn't believe in wholeheartedly? Exactly. You can go to the tomb where he was laid in Jerusalem. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I would like to know more about it. Like I said, I'm not in the business of, you know, I don't know, no matter what I do in life, I'm not going to find the answers. I will eventually, at the end of the game, when we look at the credits and we look at the scoreboard and the credits, all your life statistics and stuff like that, right? How cool would that be if you're sitting there, right? You're sitting in like, so the game is over, you're done. Game is over. You get pulled up into a room like this, and there's a big TV. And there's like the end credit screen, right? And it's like all the stats from the game, right? All the stats from the video game. It's like money earned number. And then it's like coffees drank number. It's like stuff like that. Swears said, right? Miles driven. And you're just looking at all your stats. You're like, oh, God damn it. Why did I do? Damn it. I should have got that. I should have got that up higher. Like whatever, right? Like stuff like that. Hearts broken, right? Like things like that. Like, I think that'd be cool. That'd be fun. And then based off your statistics of the video game, they decide where you go. And you're like, fuck. Damn it, what do you mean? What do you mean? What about that time in October? Stuff like that. Oh, that doesn't count? Beers drunk. Bourbon and 7-Ups drank. Stuff like that. Bourbon and 7-Up poured. Oh, question for you guys. I'm going to change the subject just a little bit because I'm sort of getting out of my knowledge realm of religion and stuff like that. I'm really not the person to go to for religious discussion. I'm really not. I got basic knowledge on it, but very, very basic. But here's a question. On December 5th, I'm going to throw a party. Like a party for my friends and whatnot, right? December 5th, what day is that? Do you guys know? It's Repeal Day. What is Repeal Day? Anybody know? Throw it in the chat right now. If you know what Repeal Day is without looking it up. I'll give it a minute. While they're coming in, I'm going to tell you. Repeal Day is the day Prohibition was abolished. And the new amendment was signed. What was it? Amendment 18? Is that right? The 18th Amendment abolished Prohibition? 18? 17? I don't know. Something like that. Right? Whatever. So I'm going to be throwing, my friends and whatnot, a Repeal Day party. Roaring 20s themed. Okay? Now, the question is, all the girls are going to be getting dressed up in flapper dresses. Now, I know Prohibition ended in the 30s, 1933 or whatever it was, right? But I think Roaring 20s themed Repeal Day, end of Prohibition, although we're bringing together two different decades, I feel like that would be fun. Roaring 20s, where the guys dressed like this, smoking cigars outside on the porch, drinking whatever they drank back then. I don't know. That's what I'm here for you guys. I'm trying to figure out. That's what I'm talking about. I said to my friend Molly yesterday, I said, Molly, I told her all about it. She's like, I love this. Like, this is like totally up my alley. I'm going to start looking on, what was the? Temu. I'm going to start looking on Temu for flapper dress. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, I don't care. But I'm like, she's like, and we got to get Tom to like not wear sweatpants. I'm like, Tom will come over the house and I'll get him into a suit. We're fine. I'm like, but Molly, you are in charge of making the Repeal Day cocktail for the night. I'm going to give her, or two, right? I have these giant taps. You fill it with liquid and there's a tap you can pour into your cup, right? And I'm going to give them to her. I'm going to say, all right, Molly, fill these. Make two different cocktails. and make it Roaring Twenties themed. So I didn't know if you guys had any input on that. What do you think is a Roaring Twenties themed cocktail? Now, my friends don't, some of them will drink moonshine. Some of them will. Me, at the end of the night, I will. But that's when you probably shouldn't. But at the end of the night, I would drink moonshine. But I'm trying to figure out what the repeal day cocktails or whatever mixed drink of the night should be that I can give Molly and be like, make this. Trying to generate ideas. I said, I'm going to ask the live stream tomorrow, find out exactly what we can do. And we're coming up with ideas. So if anyone has any suggestions or recommendations, I'm all ears. I'm all ears. Let's see. I don't know the amendment, but I know that it's like a ban for alcohol. Yeah, no, so they banned alcohol in like 1918, 1917, right? Prohibition lasted for 13 years. So that's 1920. If I remember correctly, Prohibition ended in 1933. 1933, 13 years before that's 1920. Yeah. So that must be it. So it must be 1920 to 1933. But I was like, I'm going to put like Prohibition, like I'm just going to print them out offline. Prohibition newspapers all over the windows, like block the windows, right? Like a speakeasy. I figured that'd be kind of fun, like Prohibition, no alcohol, right? Ban on alcohol. I think that would be so cool. I would make a cocktail that looks yellowish and tastes like absinthe. What about some Kahlua milk with chocolate rum? Kahlua milk. I hope you don't mean like legit milk. All the Parsons drank absinthe, whatever that is. I've never heard of that. I'll have to look into it though. Maybe. I was thinking, I used to work at a bar called Scarlet Oak. Scarlet Oak. It's a tavern, and it's in Hingham, Mass. I used to work there. Not too long ago, actually. I used to work there 2 or 3 years ago. On the bar. And they had this drink. I don't remember what it's called. I totally forget. But it's like a bourbon type drink. But what they do is they take tobacco leaves and they put tobacco leaves in like this filter thing. And they put it inside water. And then they marinate the water with the tobacco leaves. So you get like a tobacco water. And then they freeze that. So you get like a tobacco water ice cube. Right? And I never tried it. It smelled pretty, I'm not going to lie, it smelled pretty good. I was like, whenever I saw them make this drink, I was like, this actually looks fire. And people loved it. They would take the tobacco ice cubes, one or two of them, and they put them in the glass, and then they pour the mix, whatever the drink. I gotta text my friend Raul. Raul, if you're watching, text me. That tobacco drink, I can't remember what it was called. I gotta look at their drink menu. Scarlet Oak. What the fuck was it called? Whatever. So they would make that and people would love it. And it was like a tobacco drink and people would drink that. They'd take the drink. Most of them would take it outside and go smoke like cigarettes outside. Because it was like I say that and then I say go smoke cigarettes outside. It was like a higher end restaurant, right? But people would go there dressed nice and it was a vibe. People would take their drinks, their tobacco drink, and they'd sit outside and they'd smoke like a cigar outside on the patio with their drink. And it was a vibe. It was cool. And I was always like, oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. Imagine just doing that with your friends. Like I've never done that with my friends. I think that'd be fun at a restaurant, right? But yeah, no. So they would just do that, and I was like, that might be a cool drink to make for this repeal day party. Bootleggers originally used sweet honey and tart lemon in speakeasies to mask the rough taste of homemade bathtub gin. Gross. Cloves. Okay. Vodka, sherbet, Sprite, peppermint, and cloves. And blend up some strawberries or cherries, the glass and brown sugar, and pour. Interesting. Okay. Allegedly, you gotta stop using Siri. Just type. I go on rants. You got time. Gin and tonic with cherry grenadine. I could go on and on and on. I used to be a mixer. Okay. All right. Very well. I'll take the advice. Interesting. I'll send this stuff to, let me screenshot. Send it over to Molly. I just screenshotted it. And she will make the drinks. I'm excited. Very excited. But all right, guys, I've been live for about an hour and 45 minutes. If you guys have questions for me, throw them down below. Because your time is running out. Time is running out. My throat's starting to get sore. I can't go for 3.5 hours like Ryan Burns. I can't go for 2.5 hours like Ed Epperly. Ed Epperly is 90 years old and does a 2-hour and a 2.5, 3-hour podcast. I'm just like, dude. Oh, Ed's great. I'm going to text Ed because I want to compare and contrast a case with him. The Great Gatsby movie is a movie about 1920. Very boring, in my opinion. You don't like The Great Gatsby? I did a show on The Great Gatsby. Watch it. It's called, the third coffee hour, I believe it was. If you go back to the third coffee hour 1 was about Dracula. Coffee hour 2 was about Dracula. Coffee hour 3 was about The Great Gatsby. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a great book. I love the new movie, the one that came out in like 2013. That's a great movie. That's a great movie. Where this came from? The Great Gatsby? What do you mean you don't like it? It's awesome. I'm proud of you for doing this. It's a lot of talking and multitasking. Yeah. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Seth. Have a good evening, everybody. Faye, you as well. Oh my God, I love The Great Gatsby. Read the book. I read the book once in high school. And then I went to Old Orchard Beach last summer. And I read I listen. I don't read books, I listen because I'm like dyslexic, right? And so I can listen to an audiobook and I will retain the information and I can listen to it. And that's how I get through books so quickly. So I will listen to a book while I'm working out. I'll listen to a book while I'm on the treadmill, while I am working or cleaning camera equipment, doing basic things at the studio while I'm setting up this studio, right? Like these plants go out there. They don't live here. So I like while I'm setting up all this, the camera equipment and all the fun stuff, right? All that stuff. I'll listen to a book or a YouTube video. But I love The Great Gatsby. It's a great read. What do you mean you don't like it? Yep. Your book reviews. Yes. The good old book reviews. Those were fun. I wanted to keep doing those with like the true crime books, but they're hard. Like how can you can't review. I'm sure you can review a true crime book, but it's just difficult. It's like, how am I going to review like Captain's Dinner? There's no like, the characters don't change throughout the story. There's no character arc. There's no good versus evil. There's no, whatever, climax of the story or plot or whatever. It's just it's like a law book, these things. Most of these books are nonfiction, true historical textbooks, basically, about one particular case. And you read them on a serious note. So I don't get, I tried, so there are a few books that I absolutely love. Everybody knows Dracula is my favorite book of all time. I am a Dracula expert, and I've actually worked on getting a descendant of Bram Stoker on the show. That might happen. That might happen. I'm not even lying to you. That might happen. Yeah, like a coffee hour. It would be like a live coffee hour type thing. But yeah, and then I was in the middle of reading The Count of Monte Cristo, but then the channel changed, and the channel changed to the author interviews that we do, which I prefer doing the author interviews. There's a lot more information and accurate information that we're able to get out to you guys. If it was just Rich and I, like it was in the beginning, Rich and I study these cases for a week, and it's not really, you're not getting the most accurate, up-to-date information if we do something like that, because we're reading things like Wikipedia to get the basics and sort of just outline the case. But when we talk with the experts, you're getting like an expert opinion. You're getting a legit interview, right? You'll just retain, there's more information being funneled out through those episodes than there is when Rich and I do it, unless it's on Lizzie. But yeah. Yeah, those book reviews were fun. Maybe I'll read The Great Gatsby. I'll give it a listen. It's a quick read. You can read The Great Gatsby in a couple of hours. It's not a big book. You can read it in like a day. Quick run. Done. 1.5 speed. Okay, I was in high school when I watched it. I was bored. In 2013? You watched the 2013? How? There's fireworks and classic cars and girls in flapper dresses and guys in suits. It's so visually appealing. The girls are cute in the movie. That's one reason to watch it. Right? What do you think? They put ugly girls in movies? No, it's like half the reason why guys watch movies is to look at the girls. I read the book. I'll read the book. No, if you didn't like the movie, I'm not going to lie, you probably won't like the book either. If you didn't like the movie, I don't know if you watched the original, like the one from like the 70s or the 60s, whenever it was. But what movie was it? Was it the one with Leonardo DiCaprio? 2013? If it was that one, there's no hope. You won't like it. I'm sorry. I encourage you to read it just to understand it. Oh, nah, damn it. I was hoping that you were going to tell me that it was the other one. Yeah, there's probably no hope. Read Dracula. Do me a favor, read Dracula. Dracula's about, okay. Big bar, do you read physical books, or do you listen to an audiobook, or do you do a combination of the two? If you do a combination of the two or listen to audiobooks, Drew Beeson, if you're in the chat, can you send me a digital copy of Paratrooper of Fortune so that I can read it on the computer? But okay. Where was I? Okay. If you read physical books or listen to audiobooks, I recommend Dracula. Read Dracula. If you haven't yet, it's a great book, but you are going to need patience. It's not these modern fiction books that are, it's a slow book, but it's a great read. If I may make a suggestion, there's a guy named hold on a second. I don't know how this works. I've never done this. Picture in picture? I don't know. Okay, I'm not even gonna play with this. This is a new software. I don't know how it works. But I'm gonna tell you a YouTube channel to look up, okay? I'm gonna tell you a YouTube channel to look up. Go to, hold on, I gotta find it. Hold on. Okay, here we go. This is a YouTube channel called Stephen Red Fox Garnett, Garnett. You can also find this channel by literally going on YouTube and looking up Dracula audiobook. This guy does different voices. He's a trained voice actor, and he's got a great, soothing voice. He does an amazing job. This is the best Dracula audiobook I've ever heard, and I've listened to several of them. I've read this book probably double-digit times in my life. And I'll show you what it looks like. Videos will go by popular. Yeah, here we go. This is what it looks like. You can see that there's the red wine glass on the side. There's part 1, 2, and 3. I've listened to this audiobook several times because it's that good. Sometimes if I'm bored and I don't really have something going on, I'll put that on. Like this week, I might listen to it just randomly. Sometimes I just randomly go to a new chapter, like chapter 15. I'll just listen because I've read the book so many times. I understand what's going on in certain sections. I know what each chapter is about. I'll just put on chapter 15 or chapter 20, whatever, and I'll just listen from there. And I'll do that while I'm driving or whatever, right? But I would recommend that because there's so many characters inside this book, Dracula, that you almost need the different voices to help you distinguish who is doing what. If you're just reading the book, you might get confused. So I would recommend listening and reading. But you can just listen to this and you'll do just fine. It's a great read. Also, if you want a good Dracula movie, one of the best movies that I've ever watched, and I will explain why. I've talked about it here. I'll give you a brief synopsis on it. It's called The Last Voyage of the Demeter. It's like a B-star movie. There's no major actors in it. You know, it's not The Great Gatsby. It's not. There's, you know, B-list actors. There's no crazy CGI or whatever, right? Why do I like The Last Voyage of the Demeter so much? I'll tell you exactly why I like it. It's because that movie does something that nobody else does. For any young Hollywood directors out there that want to make a name for themselves, I would recommend using this strategy. The strategy is taking a very, very complex book like Dracula, very complex, different settings, stories, time periods. The book is told through writings like newspapers and journals. It's not like a narrator. There's different narrators. That's why I'm suggesting listen to the audiobook. It's memoirs, it's journals, it's personal notes, it's newspapers. That's how they narrate the book. It's a collection of material. That movie, The Last Voyage of the Demeter, does one thing, and they only talk about chapter 8. Chapter 8 is Dracula's journey to England from Bulgaria and Transylvania. His journey on the ship, the Demeter, the Russian cargo vessel, he boards the Russian cargo vessel inside a tomb of dirt that he's shipping to England. And then he terrorizes the boat. They don't try to do the entire book in one movie. You can't. You cannot fit a 500-page book into 2 hours of screen time. It's just not possible. And leave out no details. But this movie did that. It put one chapter of a single book, one single chapter of this very complex book, and it left out almost no details. So if you read, so read up to chapter 8. This is what I'll tell you to do. Read up to chapter 8 or whenever you get to the Demeter. I believe it's chapter 8. I believe. It's called the Demeter. I don't have Dracula. It's in the other room. That's literally my coffee table book, right? So get up to the Demeter, read it. Stop there. And then watch the movie. Watch the movie, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. You can get it on Amazon for like $3. Just rent it. Whatever. It's $3. Who cares? Watch it. It'll be fun. It'll get you reinvested in the story because it leaves out almost no details. It adds characters and stuff like that. Like they have to spice it up a little bit, right? Obviously. But it's a great read and they do an excellent job. And I recommend it. So that's a great movie. And those audiobooks. Stephen Red Fox Garnett's audiobooks, the 3 audiobooks, Dracula 1, 2, and 3. It's like part 1, part 2, part 3 are absolutely excellent. Absolutely excellent. You can get free ones. Those are free. They are free. They're not even like paid. They are free and ad free. There's no ads in there. I think there's just pre-roll ads, which are the ads at the beginning and the end, right? I think that's it. I don't think there's ads at the end of chapters even. I think it's literally ad-free listening. He did an excellent job. Check it out. I've never talked to the guy. I've never talked to him. I've commented on some of his videos and whatever. And, we chatted very, very briefly, just text to text, right? But, we did a good job. So if anyone's interested in listening to Dracula, that's the book to do it. That's the book to do it. All right, let me get back to my phone's going to die. My phone's on 5%. I need the backup. I need the iPad, my monitor. All right, let's see what we got going on. Okay, Celtic, I'm tribal. What? Oh, here we go. Oh, okay, you guys are just having a conversation. That's why. Okay, I love Dracula. He's awesome. Yes, eye to eye, I'm listening. Okay, right now I'm so in love with AMC's Sam Reed. That is playing Leicester. I have not seen it. I'll listen tonight and take notes. I'll listen to it when I mow my lawn. I do that. It's funny you say that. Sometimes I put on a chapter. Like I take care of my grandmother's yard and stuff like that, right? So like I'll go to my grandmother's yard and I'll mow her yard. And sometimes I'll just put Dracula on because you get bored. Controversial take. I like music in certain situations, right? Like yesterday, Molly got so hyped up. I was telling her about the party, the Repeal Day party. She got so excited. She's like, "Fuck it, I don't want to listen to hip hop or whatever, right? I don't want to listen to that. I want to listen to like 20s music." And I was like, "Put it on. I don't care." So we're outside drinking. We're all smoking cigars. Me and all the fellas are smoking cigars. The girls are talking, and we're listening to we're literally listening to like movie from like movie music from the 1920s. Like it was like trumpets and the horns and the piano and like everything that they had in there, right? And she's blasting it and it's like midnight and I'm like, this is the crazy. I'm like, my neighbors are gonna be looking out and they'd be like, what the fuck are these people up to? But no, it was fun. It was cool. So yeah. I don't know why I got on that. But yeah, no, I do sometimes put on the because I don't like music. I like music in certain situations. Like if I'm working out, if I take like a pre-workout or something, I don't want Dracula in my ear if I'm working out because that's a book that is very slow and it's serious and it takes a certain mindset to read that book. It really does. But like if I'm driving, very often I drive in silence. Because I very rarely get peace and quiet. It's not because I have like kids or anything. My house is usually quiet, but I usually have an AirPod in because I'm studying for something. I'm studying a political meeting that just happened that I'm going to be moderating a debate on TV live, or something that I'm interviewing someone, or like I have DB Cooper coming up on this upcoming Friday. I have DB Cooper coming up. And I have a political discussion I'm doing. 2-hour interviews. So 4 hours of interviewing on Friday. It's a lot. So I got to be ready and prepared for something like that. Because if I'm not sure if anyone's ever talked on camera, if any one of you have ever done it, but you very quickly get tired. Like, this is a 2-hour show. It's been 2 hours. It would be like me doing this whole monologue, this whole 2-hour monologue over again. And you get exhausted when you're doing a 2-hour show because you're actively listening. A lot of people will just like put the show on, or maybe they'll put this monologue on that I'm doing right now. They'll put it on and they'll walk around, they'll clean the house, mop, vacuum, do the dishes, whatever it is, stuff like that. But when that's totally different because you're just listening. But when you're actively listening and you're trying to catch things and you're in a debate or you're in a interview situation, you have to be listening to everything that they say because you have to catch things. And if you don't catch things, you guys will call me out on it. So I need to be actively listening, and it gets tiring. You know, like it's the same feeling of like if you're on a computer for 10 hours straight. You're doing your taxes or something, you're staring at the computer screen. That feeling of being mentally drained is what it's like after an interview. And if you do 2 of them in a day, even if there's hours in between, sometimes I'm just beat. But these ones are back to back. So it's like times like that, it's like you got to be prepared. You got to be able to go off knowledge. You cannot wing it at all. You got to be ready to go. Now, DB Cooper, I wouldn't have done it if it was like Son of Sam or some case that I've never covered before, but where it's DB Cooper and I have a really solid foundation for knowledge on the Cooper case. I've done it so many times. I can sort of catch things. And plus I'm good with Black Box. I know he knows what he's talking about. So it shouldn't be a big deal, but it does get tiring after a while. So sometimes I enjoy just driving in peace and quiet, even if it's like, you know, for an hour or 2 or whatever. Like my friends, like most of my friends are way older than me. Most of my friends are in their late 30s, 40s, 50s, and many of them in their 60s and up. I mean, Rich is 83. But most of the friends that I ride motorcycles with all summer, several times throughout the summer, we go on trips and whatnot, are a lot older. They have a lot more experience than me. They're in their 40s or 50s, whatever, and they are better riders than I am. I've only been riding for a few years, and they've been riding for decades at this point. And they always say to me, they're always like, Seth, why don't you put like a radio system on your bike? You got to get like a fairing and a windshield, and you got to get. I'm like, because you got to understand, I am listening to things all day. I'm studying cases all day. Sometimes I just like listening to nothing and just focusing on one thing. And that's just riding my bike. You know, just farting around, riding my bike, right? Whatever. And I think they have a hard time understanding that because like it's one thing to listen to these monologues. It's another thing to actually host them. They're totally different. But yeah, that's that, guys. Let's see what we got going on here. There's almost 49 characters. And Dracula? Probably, yeah. What's it called? The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Yeah, it's a good movie. I love the book Dracula. The first half is great, but the second half gets a little slow and boring. Yeah, it does. But Bram wrote the book. He wanted the book to be about, I'm not going to spoil it, but at the end, the battle of Dracula, it's not that spectacular. And it's not that spectacular because the main character of the book is not Dracula. It's Jonathan Harker. Jonathan Harker is the main character of the book. And he didn't want Dracula's battle to shadow Jonathan Harker. He didn't want the violence of the fight to take away from what the book actually represents. The teamwork, the brotherhood, the thinking is actually what the book represents. It's not about Dracula. I like Dracula because I like the the Victorian era vibe to it. But there's other reasons about it as well. Vlad was good, yes. But yeah, no, it does get kind of slow. The Battle of Lucy is actually Lucy Westenra. There will be a battle for Lucy Westenra. That battle is more intense than the Battle of Dracula. The Curse of Lucy, Lucy's Curse, is a more intense battle to read than Dracula's battle. It is. And I think Bram did that on purpose. I listen to audio. I do it as well. Very nice. I do my runs and listen to Gary Mathias and his wise ways. Thank you very much, Just Planting Around. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you. I'm going to give that a heart. Oh, hold on. There we go. Listen to Gary Mathias' wise ways on this journey of life. I listen to life lesson from him and all the boys. Yes. Yes, it's hard to do. I understand. Your mind is going and it's tough. Good night. I appreciate all you do, and I definitely learned. Thank you very much, Big Bart. I will be in touch via the email very soon, probably tonight. I did an episode on Keelan Murder So Sad. Yes, he is. Yes, he is, and Keanu Reeves played him perfectly. The exact same thing with Great Gatsby. The beginning and the beginning, the end is boring. Yeah, I totally agree. I go outside to listen to the birds and trees daily. I think that people don't clear their minds like the days past, and that's why it's such an angry and confused world now. Brains need rest. Yeah, they certainly do. I think that. Well, the problem is that you have. Oh, I could go on and hold another monologue about this, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to torture you guys. People don't occupy themselves. They cannot sit in silence. People in my generation, I'm guilty of it too. If like Caroline and I today, we had leftover stuff for dinner from last night's cookout with all my friends. We cooked hot dogs and hamburgers, cheeseburgers, and that was my dinner. We helped her mom move some things. It was a little bit longer than we expected, so we just had the leftovers. We were going to make some like tacos and stuff, but whatever. So we just had the leftovers. We finished that up, and we sat down. I immediately just without hesitation just pulled my phone out and started watching Instagram Reels. Caroline immediately, without hesitation, pulled her phone out and starts watching TikTok or YouTube. And I have to train myself. I'm sitting across from someone. I should be talking to them, not on my phone. It's a bit rude. So, sometimes I put my phone down, but like my generation, they can't even eat a meal in silence. They need to watch something while they eat. They watch people scroll TikTok while they drive. They need that constant stimulation. People don't have a quiet moment. This room, what I'm in right now, I joke around, I call it the parlor. It's more of an office, a studio, a library at this point. Now, I just restored a wooden desk. I sanded the whole thing down, removed the veneer, and did the whole staining process, and it's still currently drying. It's right there. And that's going to be my workstation. But I come in here every morning, I sit down right where I'm sitting right now, and I drink my coffee, and I sort of just relax a little bit. Sometimes I go outside and drink my coffee if the weather's nice. But my coffee time, my coffee hour is very important. And I'm more productive when I have that time where I'm able to just self-occupy by having patience and being able to just sit here and relax and not need to be distracted. Our generation can't do that. My generation just can't do that because they're always being hit. They're chasing the dopamine hit of TikTok, Instagram, television, video games, YouTube. Like my generation, like who watches this channel? This channel right here. Who watches this? Not my generation. Definitely not my generation. It's people who are 45 and up. Because my generation can't sit down and watch something like this. They can't. You try to get someone that's like, I can do it because I'm doing something right now. It's the only reason I can do this. But my generation can't do this. They can't. It's very rare. But I'm not going to torture you guys for much longer. It's been a long show. Not a long show, but it's been a good show. We got into a lot. Big show. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you guys want to support the channel, there's a cool new way that you can do it. It's free. You get access to my journals, and I post things on there. It's my Patreon. If you have the Patreon app on your phone, just look it up. Look up our name. It's free to join. If you want more content, like ad-free stuff, and get a phone call, like one of the cool benefits of the Patreon, like the upper tiers, the non-free stuff, is Rich and I will Zoom with you. We'll get on a Zoom call and we'll chat it up for an hour. And we'll just do this. We'll just talk about whatever for an hour or so. So if you guys want some updates and want another way to support the channel, it's totally free to do so. And you get access to my journals, my writings, Rich's writings. There's a bunch of other stuff in there as well. Updates. And if you message me, I will respond on the Patreon as well. And then there's also a group chat as well, too. So if you want to be in a group chat, chat it up with me and Rich, we're in there. So that's a cool way to do it. You can get it on the desktop if you're watching on a computer, but you can also get it on your phone. It's an app. It's a free app. Don't need to pay anything. And yeah, it's fun. A lot of creators do it. But if you want to support your creator, I know a lot of you send super chats, and I always appreciate the super chats. But hey, if you send a $10 super chat, send less money. You get, a month of extra bonus content. A lot of people send like $5 super chats, and I'm like, oh, you could have literally just got access to a whole portal of information and behind the scenes videos that we're going to be adding and creating and stuff like that. We just launched it, so we're still working on the library and the archive, but ad-free, early access to interviews and stuff like that. So it's a really cool way to support the show if you guys are interested. But nevertheless, there is a free option, and join it up. I'll talk to you guys later. On Tuesday, we have a live stream. Rich and I will be doing a live stream on Lizzie, the anniversary of the Lizzie Borden tragedy. Not the Lizzie Borden tragedy, because it wasn't her. But the unforeseen tragic death of Andrew and Abby Borden. Rest in peace to them. The 134th or so anniversary of the crime. And then on next Sunday, so a week from today, we'll be sitting down with Bob Cyphers again to chat it up with Bob about his book, 25 Frozen, One Thawed. And we get into it. Bob's a really solid guy, and I look forward to talking with Bob every time we do get to talk with him. He's got a new book coming out on baseball. I didn't see that coming. But we get into it. I apologize to anybody who's on the paid tiers. This last week's interview came out a little bit late, but I'll have Bob's interview up on like Monday or Tuesday this week. So if you want early access, it'll be on the Patreon. With that, guys, I will talk to you guys later, and I hope you guys have a wonderful evening and a wonderful week. Happy Lizzie Week. And reach out to the website, SethRosczewskiPodcast.com. Follow me on Instagram if you want. You can DM me on Instagram. I'll probably respond. And with that, guys, I'm going to let you go. Have a good rest of your evening.